half of my face. So I'm trying to make sure you all can see my full face today on Periscope. On Periscope and Facebook Live. I'm doing my best to set up here. I was not prepared this morning. Let's see how I can set this up. Good morning, Facebook. I just turned my sound off on Periscope. Let's see. That should work. Hopefully that doesn't fall again. I don't have both of my, hey Missy. Both of my tripods to be able to put them both up. But good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope that's something that I say today that is going to be good morning. James, good morning to you. I hope that is going to be able to help some people today. So we're talking about, or we've been discussing balancing day-to-day life as a wife mompreneur, whether you're in all three of those categories, 2 or 1. Or if you're just a woman, these are some day-to-day basic tips that's going to be able to, tips and strategies that's going to be able to help you flow efficiently through your day. So I have my notes here, and I want to thank everybody for joining me for Topic Tuesday. If you're on Periscope, if you will go ahead and invite your followers. And if you are on Facebook Live, thank you for joining me. If you will go ahead and share the video at the end of the post. I am Tramika, Craddock, planner, consultant, coach. I do event planning as well as event consulting, as well as a certified business and life coach. So I'm coming from a coaching aspect today in regards to the strips and tips. I am, hey Tay, I am a success strategist. So basically what I do in the areas of the lives that women need help, what I do is just come in and provide strategies and tips that's going to be able to just push them forward or put them in the place of success that they desire in that area of their life. Typically it's always business and relationships, specifically marriage. So that's what we're talking about. Again, the topic is balancing day-to-day life, and then what we started last week, so this is going to be a part 2, is talking about breaking down the week, the most important parts of our week that we actually need to plan for. And I apologize because I was trying to get set up so long to my Periscope family. You all been on with me a few moments. I've been trying to get set up. I have a lot going on this morning, so I'm going to quickly go through this, and then I want to share some information at the end of the scope in the live feed today. So let me go ahead and go in this. We talked about 2 weeks ago, we talked about in order to balance day-to-day life efficiently, you have to be organized. In the specific areas of the home that I told you all to organize was your car, and I'm looking at my notes, your car, your workspace, your room, a living room, a bathroom, and your kitchen, specifically in your kitchen cabinets and refrigerator. Whatever areas that you're in on a day-to-day basis, if you get those areas organized like a closet, me and my husband, we reorganized our closet yesterday. The areas that you're in on a day-to-day basis, if you get those areas organized, you will be able to flow efficiently through those areas better, and that I promise you is going to help your day. Because we talked about being frustrated and getting stressed out when you can't find things, if you're cooking, or that blouse or sweater that you want to wear, whether it be in your closet or just anything in those day-to-day areas, things that you may need in your bathroom, you're not able to find, you know, makeup, lipstick, a certain color you want to wear, accessories. I have a huge jewelry case in my room, but oftentimes I have to either reorganize, or something we'll talk about in the next few weeks is bringing in help, or I pay one of my daughters to reorganize all my jewelry, so that way when I'm looking for something, a specific color or a specific item that I just know is going to make my outfit right, I want to be able to find these things quickly. So again, just being organized is what we need to do. Plan ahead for the week, or even look ahead. Some of us is not to the point where we can put out a full-fledged schedule for the week. So if we actually look ahead at our week, it will be able to, we will be able to know what's coming ahead and how to plan out our days efficiently. In order to do that, the third point that we talked about 2 weeks ago was begin to write things down. You have to begin to create a schedule, whether it's just jotting down little things, putting it in your phone, putting it on your laptop. We talked about a whole bunch of those. So I definitely suggest, if those are some areas you need help in, to go back and look at that video from Topic Tuesday. I believe that was 2 weeks ago, where we talked more in details about those things. And then last week, we started on this topic of breaking down planning for the week. So we're talking about main areas that you need, or main things that you need to break down when you're planning your week, if we're going to start to plan our week, so that we can flow through our day-to-day lives efficiently. So last week, I didn't get a chance to go through everything, but we talked about food and meal preps. That is a big part of our week. A lot of people, we may prepare meals. If you have a large family, you may prepare meals, or even if it's just you, you may prepare meals. Some people may eat out. So depending on what you're doing, is always a good idea to have a schedule or a plan for the week. So going forward, when it comes to dinner on a Wednesday night, you'll know exactly what's going to take place, whether I'm going to order pizza on that night, whether I'm going to be preparing a meal, if I have leftovers in the fridge, whatever the case may be, whatever you're going to do, if you plan ahead and schedule that out, it's going to help you go through your week a little bit more efficiently. So I'm actually going to be posting this up today, but we talked about the main areas of my food and meal prep that we have. I talked about my cook days, my meal prep days, cook days, which is, for me, is on Sundays and Tuesdays. Those are the days that I actually cook a full meal. And I'm talking about a meat, maybe 2 meats, 2 to 3 sides. Always got to have bread with my family. So a full meal. So those are the days that I cook full meals, on Sundays and on Tuesdays. And then on our leftover days, my leftover days, Monday and Wednesdays, because I know on Mondays it's busy, we getting back into the flow of work. On Wednesdays we have Bible study, after getting home with the kids, doing homework, and the additional work that I give them. It's hard for me to be able to prepare a meal on those days, so those are the leftover days. So we have cook days, leftover days. I have quick meal days. Quick meal days are days that you can cook a quick meal in less than 45 minutes that's not going to cause you to have leftovers the next day, because we don't want to waste, right? We talked about that. So my quick meal days are Thursdays and Saturdays, because Friday is a free choice, which we talked about. The free choice in our family, we started with the free choice for our kids just picking whatever they wanted to on Friday night, but they got a little out of hand with that. So what we had to do is we just decided that we're going to do pizza every Friday night. So a free choice may look different to your family. And one of the things that I mentioned is I'm giving basic tips, but it may be something that I need to sit down with you and help you come up with a strategy or tips for your particular family. Everybody's family is different. I have 3 kids. You may have 5 kids. You may have 1 kid. You may have no kids. Your husband may eat different things than me. I know my best friend, actually both of my close friends, my best friends, their husbands are a little bit pickier when it comes to things to eat. So what I may put on my menu, you may not put on your menu. And what I do is on Sunday, when we talked about the Sunday prep, prepping for your week on Sundays, and that's a reminder that I've been putting out on Facebook for the last couple weeks. What I do on Sunday prep is I create a schedule for our family, and then I put the meals that we're going to have on that schedule, so they all can decide, what. I always joke around and say, whether you're going to eat what I cook or whether you're going to fast that night and you're not going to eat at all. So I went into a lot of that. But we talked about, I definitely encourage you to go back and look at the video. We talked about prepping for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. And I actually posted a picture when I do my snack prepping once per month. So I do at least 90 snacks, and that gives my kids, 3 kids, 1 snack per day, because their menu is they eat breakfast, they eat lunch at school, they'll have a snack at school. That's what they take during the week to school. What I prep, the snack at school. They come home, they eat lunch, which is a word that we created in our home. And what that is It's bigger than a snack. My husband will always laugh at all these creative things we make. But it's bigger than a snack, but it's not quite a lunch. So they have breakfast, lunch, snacks, lunch, and then they have dinner. So for me, our family only eats one snack per day. You may be different. Again, it's going to be different per family. Your child may eat 2 to 3 snacks a day. So just depending on what works for your family. But I posted something about the snack prepping out on Facebook. And let's see here. The last thing I want to talk about that we mentioned last week, and please go back and look at the video. Good info. I cook for the week on Saturdays. There's a blessing in prepping. There is. I'm telling you, it will make your life so much better if you prep. And I try to prep and plan every area of my life, and I know that you can't do all things. But you can try. So for me, that's what I do. But again, like I talked about last week, take baby steps, and food is a big portion of our life. We have to eat, right? So starting with the food may be great for you. Another thing that I talked about was already having the groceries in the house. If you already have what you need when it's time to cook a meal, because I got tired of I will pull out everything to start to cook a meal, and then I'm missing my seasoning salt, or I'm missing my garlic salt, or I'm missing the meat that I need to go on my green beans. So I got to run out to the store. I got to ask my husband. I definitely won't ask him during the week, but if it's on the weekend, I might ask him to run out to the store. I got tired of doing that. So planning and prepping for the week to make sure, if you say this is what my meal is going to be, making sure you have all the ingredients for that particular meal. So that's what we talked about last week. Again, we spent about 30 minutes talking about that last week. Please go back and watch the video. Today, real quickly, I just want to talk about the second main area in your life to plan for the week is work, appointment, and meetings. So when I say work, appointment, and meetings, you may work on your job 9 to 5, 10 to 7, 11 to 8, whatever the case may be. You may work a full-time job. So that doesn't change for most of us. If we're on a full-time 9 to 5 job, that doesn't change. So when you're prepping or you're planning for your week, everything needs to go around that, because again, that doesn't change. Now, some of us have cases where we can work remotely from home. So you may be able to work half of the day in the office, or you may have days where you actually work at home. But for the most part, you know what your work schedule is going to be for the week. So it doesn't change. So what you want to do is you want to put those appointments and meetings all around when you're prepping for the week. For appointments and meetings, if you are an entrepreneur, for example, with me, if I'm meeting with clients, I have certain days that I know that's best for me. Tuesdays and Thursdays, my kids get out of school later. So if my appointment runs over, if my client is running a little behind, if I'm running a little behind, anything happen, we in Georgia, traffic, accident, you never know what will happen. I try to make all my appointments on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Next week, we'll talk about, I'm not even going to go into that. But for this week, again, we're talking about appointments and meetings. So if you have appointments for your children or appointments for you, doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, if you know the foundation of what your schedule is going to be, it makes it a little bit easier to say, hey, I have to work around these particular hours. So for me, my kids are in school from point A to point B. So when I'm making my appointments and my meetings, even my business hours, if you are an entrepreneur, if you have your own business, your business hours should be set up around whatever the foundation of the schedule is. For me, I always say I'm a stay-at-home mom first. So my business hours and my schedule for when I meet with clients, appointments, meetings is set up around my kids' school hours. So that was just, that was one of the tips. Another thing that you have to do is don't put too much in one day. So for example, if you know that on Tuesday is a longer day where you usually stay in the office at 7 o'clock, you may not want to book a conference call, date night, and try to talk to a teacher on that night. That's too much in one day. What it causes is for us to be overwhelmed and us to be stressed out. Try to spread things out over the course of the week. But in order to do that, you have to plan, you have to create some type of schedule, some type of calendar. And again, even if you're just jotting things down, it helps you to look at what's going to happen over the course of the week so that you can plan around things. So not putting too much in one day, because it causes you to be overwhelmed, it causes you to be stressed, and then what ends up happening is it ends up going over on the next task. You may be frustrated, or you may be stressed out on the next task, so you may not do it to your full ability, or you may not get it done at all. And if you a person like me, I'm so hard on myself. If I set a to-do list for the day and I don't get there, that's me. Too much in the day, in last minute. No, we have to plan. And I used to be like that too. Thank you so much for sharing that. As far as, I never really been a last minute person, but I have been where I tried to cram so much. Even my husband just told me yesterday, as a good example, he said, you don't have to move so fast and do stuff so quickly, but with me, things are just a sense of urgency. That's just my mindset. But you have to make sure we're not putting too many things in one day, because it does cause us to get frustrated, overwhelmed, stressed out, etc., etc., etc. So space things out. I don't know if you all can hear me. It looks like my connection is going in and out. But if you space things out over the course of the day or the course of the week, it's going to be beneficial for you in the long run. Time management. I can do a whole 30 minutes, hour, whatever on time management. And that was one of the things that we just talked about as far as waiting to the last minute to do things. Sometimes we wait to the last minute to do things because we don't do proper planning, which I get. And sometimes that does happen. But time management, I wrote down a few things for time management. Number one, what we already been talking about, is we have to plan ahead. Carrying a calendar around with you. If you're not going, like me, I'm a writer, so I could put things in my phone, but sometimes I don't always go back to the things. So I have a to-do list, and I keep saying I'm gonna show you all. I'm gonna take a picture of it and post it. I have a little notebook with my to-do list on. I trick my mind to think produce better results at the last minute, but it's a lie. Yes, that is a lie. You don't get better results. But the thing about it is, sometimes we have to do things at the last minute, because sometimes things will come up at the last minute. But the more we plan, the more efficiently we will be able to go through our day-to-day lives and go through our week. So I get that. But for me, I have a to-do list. I have my calendar on my phone, and I was carrying around a huge calendar, but I had to say, okay, Tramika, you have to get with technology. So I'm putting things on my phone, and I'm setting reminders. But again, I do have that small little notebook that I carry everywhere with me. That way, when something happened, I remember talking about when I took my daughter to the dentist. As soon as the dentist was like, okay, this is her next appointment, I was able to talk to Siri and put it right on my calendar. That way we won't say, well, I'll do it later. If you're carrying it around with you, you can glance at it quickly if needed, know what the next task is for the day, or you can jot additional things down. So if you're going to have a handheld calendar where you're going to write things down, or you're going to use your laptop, if you're on your computer all the time for work, or whether you're going to use your phone, make sure that you start to carry with you some type of calendar. So again, if you need to jot things down real quickly, or just kind of look at what your day is going to consist of. The other thing is block out distractions. When we're dealing with time management, you have to block out distractions. So for me, distractions is like looking on Instagram at pictures. I love pictures. Or Facebook. Or sometimes, your friends calling could be a distraction. If any of my friends are watching, I'm not talking about y'all. I'm just using it as an example. Or text messages. Sometimes I have to put my group messages on Do Not Disturb, or I need to mute them. Because when we're trying to get specific things done, if we don't block out those distractions, we'll never be able to move forward and get the task done. So sometimes, I was not talking about you. You laughing. Sometimes we need to block out the distractions and just get the task done. I mean, you can text if it is a friend or somebody, you can text and call and say, hey, I'm gonna call you. I do that with my best friend all the time. She'll call me. I'll say, hey, I'm about to go read something, or hey, I'm about to pray. I'm gonna have to call you right back. Hey, I'm about to meet with this client. I'm gonna have to call you right back. And just answer the phone and say it real quick, and just go ahead and hang up and do what you have to do. But we have to get to a point where we do block out the distractions so that we can officially get things done when we're talking about time management. The last thing for time management is plan for hiccups. For me, the biggest hiccups here is because I live in Atlanta traffic. So say, for example, something is going to take me 18 minutes. It's going to take me 18 minutes to get to a destination. Then I'm automatically going to put that in a 30-minute block. Because you never know what might happen. It could be accidents, you know, whatever the case may be. So for me, the biggest thing is traffic. And I'm trying to get better about planning for hiccups, because I know I mentioned last week when I'm throwing off tasks, it just, because I plan my stuff down to the minute sometimes. So when I'm throwing off tasks, even when I build in that contingency time and I'm still throwing off tasks, I get so aggravated because I like to be able to flow a certain way. And my husband get on me all the time about it. So that's one of the things that I have to work on individually myself personally, is just doing better when those hiccups do occur, because they will occur. So let me just go back over what we talked about today. The second main area today, what we talked about for breaking down planning for the week, is work, appointments, meetings, planning out your week so that you don't put too much in one day. Time management. Another thing that I want to, and with time management, breaking that down, you plan ahead, carrying a calendar around, block out distractions, plan for hiccups. A few more other things is going to bed earlier. If you know that you're going to have a day that is going to consist of you having to wake up earlier, or just a lot going to bed later because there's a lot of things you want to plan. Don't try to stay up until 2 o'clock in the morning and then you know you have to be up at 5 in your last conference call. Your last conference call is from 9:30 to 10:30, and then you know that weight is going to carry over to the next day because you're going to be sleepy. So we have to plan ahead, going to bed earlier. If you take a look at your calendar for what you have coming up, you will notice, okay, well, hey, I got a full day this particular day. I might need to get an extra hour worth of sleep. Or if you're used to taking naps during the day, hey, I'm not going to be able to get a nap on this particular Saturday. So on this Friday night, I don't need to stay out. I need to take my butt home and get me some extra rest because I know I have a full day on Saturday or Sunday, whatever the case may be. Leaving home earlier, that was something that I talked about in my example with planning for hiccups. If you know you have to be at work at a certain time, why leave late every day? You just get stressed out and you get overwhelmed, especially here in the Atlanta traffic, and it carries on through your day and then sometimes through your week. Plan ahead, especially when it comes to leaving in enough time to get to work on time, because then you get mad if the car get in front of you and it seems like they going slow because today you running late and you don't want your boss to say. I've been there, done that. Just plan ahead. Again, for me, what I do, if it takes me 18 minutes to get to a place, I'm going to put it in the 30-minute block. So leaving home earlier and rearranging appointments. Sometimes things do come up last minute. We mentioned that if something does happen to bounce on your calendar last minute, you may be able to rearrange appointments or meetings. So make sure you look at that and see what you can move around. That way you're not still cramming too much in one day. So that's going to be part 2. I'm going to have a part 3 next week as we continue this. I thought I was going to be able to do all of this in one sitting, but I was not able to because I see each topic is taking me roughly about 15 to 20 minutes. So just to recap, you want to plan out your week so you don't put too much in one day. You go to bed earlier, leaving home earlier, rearranging appointments. And the biggie is time management. With time management, you want to always plan ahead, carry a calendar around, block out distractions, and plan for hiccups. So that's all that I have for you all today as far as strategies and tips on balancing day-to-day life as a wife-mom-preneur. I did have a question that was submitted to me, which I did already answer, but I just want to go over that just in case anybody else had a question. I had a woman who asked me in our network, she said for networking events, because we're getting to a place just in society and just in business period when networking is necessary. It's not like I'll do it if I want to. It's absolutely necessary. So I had to come out of my comfort zone and come out of my box. Thank you, Tay, to be able to go to networking events and network with people. And one of the tips that I shared about 2 weeks ago, and I remember it because I remember a few people commenting on it, is every interaction is an opportunity. Every interaction. I don't care if you're just at the grocery store. If you have an interaction with someone, that is an opportunity to tell them about what you do, especially in business. You just never know why you meet people. But her question was, getting to her question was, she knows, I don't remember word for word, but her question was that she knows she's a very shy person. She knows she needs a network, but she's not sure quite how to do that because she's a shy person and she doesn't do well around big crowds. And what I did was I told her, bring someone with you. Bring someone with you that you know is going to be a conversation starter. Bring that person with you. But before bringing them with you, make sure you let them know exactly what they're coming for. You know, you're networking for your business and you're coming along, and let them know what your expectations are. Because you don't want them, you know, you're talking to a CEO of another company and you want to talk about your business, but then they talking about their 3 kids and how they braided their hair last. We don't want none of that. So make sure you set clear expectations so they know what they're coming for and that they're going to help you. That way, when you get amongst people or in a small circle or in a crowd, they may be your conversation starter, but then at some point you have to be able to get out of your comfort zone, out of your box, and be able to speak up about what you do. So that was my answer to her. If any of you had the same issue, I hope that answer helped you. I do want to talk about 2 last things. Number 1 is She Networks, which is a network that's on Facebook. We're having our first ATL meet and greet. I'm so excited about it. It's this Saturday. It was originally in July and we had to reschedule, so it is this Saturday. I'm so excited to meet some of the women that's going to be coming out. And like I told everyone, you do not have to be an entrepreneur. You can be aspiring. You can be a wife, a mom, or just a woman. You may have just moved to ATL and you want to connect with some people to see what's going on and how to get yourself connected in different things and get started on just doing things, whether it's in the community, whatever the case may be. Come out and meet and greet with some other women this Saturday. It's going to be at 11:30 to 1. I'll post more information about that, but I'm so excited about that. And the last thing that I want to mention is a few people have been asking me in regards to the videos, how can I see the first part of it, part 1, or what you talked about 2 weeks ago, and they're scrolling through my Facebook page trying to get to the post. So what I'm officially going to start doing, you want to come? Yes, I will call you with the details. What I'm going to start doing with these Facebook Lives, I still am going to be coming on live on Periscope and on Facebook. I do have faithful people who meet me here every Tuesday, and I'm so grateful for that. But if you want to go back to take notes because you're just listening, because you're driving in the car, or you want to share it with someone else, or you didn't get a chance to come on live and you need to go back, instead of scrolling through my page, two different ways you're going to be able to see this, and I'm going to be posting it today. Number 1 is going to be my YouTube channel. So if you go on YouTube, Tramika Craddock Enterprises, you'll be able to find my YouTube channel. I'm going to start uploading the videos there, as well as on my website. I'm going to actually start a blog page on my website where you will have, that's going to be the best place to go, because that'll have pictures of anything that I'm doing, any questions that may have been asked and I've answered. On the website, on the blog page, you're going to be able to see everything that we're talking about. That way you can go back weeks, take notes, and do whatever you need to do. So I just wanted to let you all know 2 different ways you're going to be able to see these videos after they're posted. Other than on Periscope and Facebook Live, Facebook page, is going to be on my YouTube channel as well as on my website under my blog page. So that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for you all joining me today and interacting with me. I love when people talk back to me. It just makes for a great time. Thank you so much for joining me for Topic Tuesday. I hope something that I said helps you move to the next place of success in your life. If you need to contact me, please feel free to reach out to me, inbox me. I'm on Instagram, Periscope, my email address, my website, tramikacraddock.com. Feel free to reach out to me. I may need to help you with some specific strategies and tips just for your particular family or your business, and I'm willing to do that. Just reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to help you, and I'll be happy to hear from you. Thank you again for joining me. Have a productive rest of the week.